nearly up to our 12-month deadline, and we've still got plenty to do, including the new roof, which has been delayed for a good while, getting permission off the council to put the scaffolding up on this narrow road. We spent what bit of good weather we had in the summer trying to do what we could on the outside, so we've got the outside woodwork all stripped back and some of it actually repainted. The bits that aren't painted yet, I've got a good coating of linseed oil on them to keep them going until we next get a spell of good weather. One of the first things we started to do when we got in was to start carefully peeling back the layers, things that had been added onto the walls, etc., that were either damaged or possibly causing problems or not particularly period. So we've got one of the walls here that's now down to the stonework, and all that needs repointing. Side of the chimney, had a lot of problems with the chimney, I'll show you that in a minute. Then at the side of the door we've got more stonework that needs a bit of a rebuild. Might replace some of these bricks and repointing all that with lime. Taking plasterboard off, we can see where we've had some damage due to damp, and that was actually caused by leaks in the roof coming down inside the walls, and this is where it came out. One rainy day we noticed puddles on the floor, through into the what would you call it, dining room downstairs. Done a lot of work on this chimney, had to rebuild all that, that's all on the website. Back to stonework at the back of the fireplace, taking the cupboards out, back to brick, so more repointing there. Over on the outer back wall, back to stone, that was all cement rendered, nice beams that we've stripped back the varnish that was on them. Probably going to be waxing these. One of the major problems we've had has been all the rubbish that all this stripping out has created. We've got an everlasting stack of rubbish and rubble, only able to take a bit of it up every month to the tip because we can't get a skip in. Strip this wall back, that was plasterboarded, and we've got some nice, probably Georgian panelling. The last room to start stripping out has been the kitchen. We've left it as functional as possible for as long as possible, but now it's got to be slowly taken back so we can get the new plumbing and electrics in. One of the things that we found, an extra door, and that goes into the side passage. Over on this side, taking some plasterboard off, revealing some more wood panelling, possibly Victorian, and it looks like we used to have shelves up there. There'll be some plumbing and some wiring going into the walls as well. Then coming upstairs, we can see a stack of wood here. In there we've got some floorboards that we took out of the bathroom, can probably reuse. Some Georgian panelling that's going to be going in the downstairs room, and then stacks here of new timber. This is going to be skirting board that I've had to route myself to put this moulding in, rounded corner moulding with an angled quirk on it, and that'll be on the website shortly as well, because you can't get the tools to do that. Through into the living room, which we had immense fun stripping back with the kids. Wallpaper, hardboard, various layers of more wallpaper, canvas. But what we've revealed is all this panelling, Georgian panelling, we believe. Some interesting bits and notes that we found from decorators in the past. So we're just going to be cleaning this up and painting it. We've taken the fireplace that was in there, that marble one, after taking the gas fire out. Again, chimney, lots of rebuilding needed on that. Here we've also taken the cement render off either side of the window. And because I mentioned it so often in the previous video, there's the view. Now quite obscured by lots of dust and muck on the window and a bit of a snowstorm. And it is pretty chilly in here, especially when I'm stopping overnight on long weekends. So thermals on. Into the bathroom, more stripping out, this time layers of hardboard, panelling, and behind that we've found the rest of the crook frame. We've even got a spur going off into the wall and the collar along the bottom. We've got the wall out at the end That was the bathroom wall. That's going into the bedroom at the minute, but that will be going back. And the other thing that we found here was the state of the floor and what was supporting it. There was just a single beam, can be seen just running along there, and that was all that was supporting the floor, including the cast iron bath. The floor had been built up then, twice in fact, once with floorboards and then with chipboard to try and level it out. So I'll show you in a minute what we've done to secure all that and make it good and solid. But before we even got to the floor, I had a lot to do on this end wall as well, which through movement in the past, although it had been covered over with panelling and plasterboard again and cement render, the brickwork was pretty unstable, so that had to be taken out and rebuilt, particularly up this side. And also these joist ends where they go into the wall, leaky roof again, and they rotted back, so that's covered on the website how I've fixed those. This is the single beam that was supporting the bathroom floor. Probably see in the picture it's quite well bowed, but now we have an extra beam that I've cut and hewn up in the woods, all hand hewn, and a supporting column. Now with the new joists in place in here, I can start actually putting stuff back properly. We've got the spine here for the central heating and the hot water. Boiler's going to be outside in the laundry room, so that leads through, and very carefully trying to thread the pipe work in so we're not going to have a deal of it exposed. Makes it tricky, but it'll be a lot neater. In the lower bedroom, apart from taking off the hardboard on the back of the panelling and taking off the cement render off this wall, revealing some nice bits of timber and nice stone, we've not done a great deal. Then up to the top floor, we've taken panelling and plasterboard off here, and that angled section there, that's one of the original gable ends. This cut in it here will be where one of the purlins went. So into the attic space, you can see we've stripped off all the plasterboard now. It's going to need insulation in when we've got the new roof. Reason we need the new roof, see the bits of polythene in there, I've had to patch it up. Had various leaks in various places, got it looked at by the builder, and they said basically a good roof but very badly put on. So that's why we've had to go for the new roof, go for the scaffolding, get loads of extra delays, but looks like we're going to get some progress now. Shifted that door across a little bit because we're going to want to put a little corridor in that takes us into the other room. But before we go in there, the other side of the room we can see the chimney breast. We couldn't do before because it had a lath and plaster wall in front of it. Investigating the actual state of the chimney, we saw how badly it had moved. There's some serious cracks in it and the mortar was very badly degraded. So it's essentially been rebuilt right from the roof line and actually going all the way downstairs in situ and all repointed and deep repointed. It's now pinned back to the wall. All that's on the website as well. And at the side of that we can see we've got exposed stonework as well. So that's going to be rather a nice feature in this smallish room. Into what will be the main bedroom, or as I think I called it before, the master bedroom. Probably the most important discovery we made. After taking down, again, plasterboard and panelling, we came across this. The top of the crook frame. So that gives us something to go on when we're trying to find out the history of the place. Well, that's the guided tour at what's, well, hopefully going to be slightly further than the halfway stage. And now I'm going to go back downstairs and warm my fingers over the only source of heating I've got at the moment, which is a couple of rings on the gas cooker. Cup of coffee, and then get back to doing some more plumbing.